dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ECR Elite Cup Series by Boughton Enterprises. I'm Alan Bergen. Alongside of me, Joe, front row Joe Manella. Joe, we are in the Cornhusker State, where they pretty much nestled a racetrack in the middle of a cornfield. Now, I've been to Newton, Iowa. I've been to the Knoxville National, to the late model Knoxville Nationals, which is about 20, 30 minutes south of the asphalt track. But here we are And some farmer let some track designers plop a racetrack in the middle of someone's cornfield. But here we are, 200 miles here at the Corn Shucker 200.
Yeah, NASCAR really doesn't care. Excuse me. NASCAR really doesn't care where they put a racetrack as long as they can put one down. And I guess they decided that the middle of a cornfield was the best place. But nevertheless, should be a very exciting race here. Short track racing at its finest. The Elite Cup Series, man, these guys definitely put on a show, and it should be. I hope it's just as interesting and exciting to race as it's going to be for us to call the race, Alan.
Well, yeah, short tracking on a Saturday night. They're just getting finished up with qualifying, but real quickly, this is a track that Rusty Wallace had a hand in designing here. As we get ready to go to the grid, here we go for our grid tonight. And as these guys getting lined up, let's go ahead and show you that grid right now. And it's going to be Tristan Bailey and John Osborne on your front row. Starting third tonight will be Jordan Fisher and Aaron Miller. Aaron Miller in that number 10 Napa Know-How machine. Starting in the next row number 3, will be Dwayne Furtick and Christopher Howell in the number 1 car. Row 4, you'll find Adam Boughton and Randy Meeks. In row number 5, that's where you'll find Jonathan Dominics and Michael Carter in that Discount Tires number 18. Tyler Burton and Kane Lee will make up row number 6, while row number 7 sees Doug DeNice in that Safe Flight Auto Glass number 40 and Evan Marlowe in the number 21 Little Debbie's Ford, or Chevrolet rather. Row number 8, you'll find Ryan McCall and Brian King. Row 9 is Pete Walsh and Evan Stewart. Row number 10 is Kent Mueller and Christopher Roth. Row 11, starting in 21st, Gary Nash and Douglas King there. And then the 12th row will be Chris Evans and the Robin Hood number 95, Anthony Ludi. And rounding out your field tonight, 25th starter will be Robert Roth. 25 cars. I'll tell you what, man, this is going to be fun. I'm glad you're along for the ride.
Yeah, we have a pretty decent sized field here for this league. These guys show up week after week, and this track is uniquely shaped, right? You hear short track racing, and immediately you think of places like Martinsville and Bristol and Richmond, but Iowa, it almost looks like a traditional 1.5-mile track that they've just shortened down and squeezed into a little over 3/4 of a mile.
It's definitely, as these guys get ready to get this party started, the lights are out on the iRacing.com race car, which means there's only one thing left to do. Oh, wait. Oh, nope. I almost Steve Harvey to start. Joe, and we got one more pace lap. Sorry. I'm that amped up right now that the butterflies are going, but next time by Tristan Bailey and John Osborne, we'll get the party started. Now, let's quickly look at the weather here. These guys go down the back straightaway. It's Chamber of Commerce type day. 64 degrees in the stands, 64 degrees on the temp, on the track, overcast clouds, 95% humidity. And I will tell you this right now, it will take all of that and more. This track's going to be gripped up, but as we come down and get ready to go green flag racing, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to pull the 5-part harness. Grandpa, grab some honey buns, because race fans, it's showtime in the Cornhusker State. We're going racing.
Field off to a good start here. Tristan Bailey getting a good launch. He's doing pretty good this season so far. He's top of the points standings right now. He's got 2 wins on the season, and he's got 3 poles. So we'll be looking to keep an eye on him throughout the race.
Yeah, definitely is. Right now, Tristan Bailey got a hot start. Jordan Fisher right there behind him. John Osborne falls back just a little bit into the clutches of Aaron Miller. Here, we got 200 laps to settle this one here. And, you know, I was just like I was pointing out earlier, Rusty Wallace had a hand in designing this racetrack as they wanted to make the perfect racetrack. I think it was a high banked Richmond.
Yeah, you'd like to, you know, as a race car driver, you'd like those tracks that have, you know, high banking. So this way you can carry so much speed throughout the corner and not run the risk of, you know, getting loose and the rear end coming around on you. So it's going to be a little bit of a, you know, a difficult task for these drivers as you know, this track does have banking. However, it's not as, you know, it's not as steep as, you know, your other traditional short tracks. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, already Tristan Bailey and Jordan Fisher have essentially pulled away from John Osborne. And, you know, Joe, I always say this. It's not if the leader catches the field, it's a matter of when the leader catches the field.
Yeah, and at these short tracks, you know, especially with a larger field like this, it's not going to take long for the leaders to wrap all the way around and catch the back of the field. And, you know, if you're one of those guys in the back of the pack, you got to be thinking to yourself, man, I need to make up some ground. I need to try and stay on this lead lap as long as I possibly can.
But right now, just to say that here on lap number 7, Jordan Fisher and Tristan Bailey are Goodyear to Goodyear going down into turn number 1 and coming up turn number 2. Gives the position to Jordan Fisher, as that might be a strategy move by Tristan Bailey. John Osborne and Christopher Howell back here battling it out for the 3rd and final podium spot here on the racetrack on lap number 8. And, you know, this is one of those classic Iowa races, Joe, here with the ECR Cup Series, as they have all but single filed out now.
Yeah, as you see, Fisher and Bailey, and then you have Osborne and Howell right behind them. Those two are just doing a little bit of a tandem racing action as they're nose to tail. And, you know, if you think short track racing, you think everybody's bunched up and, you know, they're grinding the whole race. But it looks like there's definitely going to be some separation throughout this field, absent some cautions that come around to tighten it back up. But it looks like it's going to take a lot for the rest of the field to kind of catch up and catch these guys that are running, you know, 3 and 4, let alone 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely. As we are watching this battle, and they are racing in overcast, foggy conditions, and it looks like it's foggy on the screen. We're getting comments about it. That's just the way the session was set up. Is I'm sure they're racing in the late evening, early evening, you know, the late evening or early morning, which in the middle of Iowa you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, you're almost at the mercy of the weather conditions, right? If depending on how the race was set up, you know, it could be sunny, it could be foggy, and you know, but nevertheless, let's if you think about, you know, real life racing, these guys could be racing in the fog too. So it's kind of unfortunate for the viewers, being that it is a little bit foggy, but we are still here to put on a great show. And these guys are going to be here battling it out.
Yeah, definitely. Mike Damani is on assignment tonight. He'll be back next week as we have another lead change. Tristan Bailey and Jordan Fisher. And Jordan Fisher's got a fan club right now. He's Goodyear to Goodyear with Tristan Bailey in that number 9 car. Here comes engine number 9. Tristan Bailey on the inside.
Oh, as they get a little bit tight right there and a little bit of contact there as they go down into 1 and 2. Bailey able to get that lead back from Fisher. These two are going to be going back and forth as more door banging happens. Man, with 140 laps, 140 lap race, it's a little strange to see this kind of action here this early in the race, but we are racing. So this is just the kind of action that we expect to see here at Elite Cup Racing. And man, this is going to be one exciting race to watch.
Yeah, definitely is. Right now, taking a little bit deeper in the field. And Joe, these guys are strung out kind of like the line at the methadone clinic. With everybody wanting to try and run the most dominant line, which effectively at most tracks is always going to be the bottom. You're going to see a lot of guys wanting to get single file, wanting to save their tire, and hopefully be able to retain as much tire as they can to make a push for a position change. It definitely is. It looks like the only side-by-side battle we got going on other than the lead right now, and that's the 3/5 of a second gap now that Bailey's going to is this battle right here with Tyler Boughton and Randy Meeks. Now, Randy Meeks has the 7th position. Tyler Boughton, Tyler Boughton is up 3 spots from where he started at.
It looks like they've both decided that they're going to go single file here, with Tyler Boughton just ended up tucking behind Randy here. It's still really early in the race, not really looking. I might stand corrected as one dies down to the inside, but still a lot of racing here to happen, and still a whole lot of room for position changes. So
yeah, absolutely, as we're watching this battle go on. Meanwhile, Tristan Bailey, back at the ranch, here's Tristan Bailey and Jordan Fisher, nothing doing there, as they're still single filed out. Jordan Fisher at T1 Racing entry there, the number 39 card, looking at, just kind of, hey, I'll let Tristan be the line leader for right now. He's only going to be okay with that for so long. We focused on this battle here. Let's take a look at some other guys here, as Kane Lee coming under fire from the tank car of Aaron Miller. Aaron Miller in the Napa know-how, looking to know how to get around Kane Lee and that number 91 card. Still having trouble doing that. Oh, hello.
Yeah, that was Tyler Boughton getting up into the wall just a tad bit, and then Kane getting in right behind him. I wonder if that was just a miscalculation on corner exit for both of them, or if Kane Lee was at the mercy of some dirty air coming off of Tyler Burton's number 6 Chevrolet.
But look, the only person that's allowed to miscalculate anything is me. And that's only because we're in the booth. I miscalculate a lot of things. Gas mileage.
Yeah, math was never really my strong suit in school either, so if I don't use a calculator, I probably don't get any any equations right. So.
Well, right now, the only thing that's right on this track right now is this battle between Tyler Boughton. Hello, Kane Lee is right there, buddy. Simmer down. It's only lap number 24.
Yeah, there's a car there, and that number 10 car, Aaron Miller, getting up into some of that action too, as he was really close to getting around Tyler Boughton.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully this weather clears up as the race goes on. It's still 200 miles, 200 laps, and it really makes things difficult. Now, I've called some races where it's been really foggy out, and it's just a nightmare to see cars. So we're trying to find that best view that we can get. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about the weather outside. If you don't like we say here in St. Louis, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes.
Right, or wait until later on in the day, because I can tell you this much: the North Carolina weather is as bipolar as it gets, because it can be 30 degrees in the morning, and then 85, 90 in the afternoon, and then back down to 30 degrees at night. So,
Wait,
um,
you had the 4 seasons in North Carolina?
yeah, all in one day.
Wow. I mean, where else in the span of 3 days you can go from summer, spring, fall, and winter?
You really can't. It's this is like a prime time space to live, and then we have all these iconic NASCAR tracks and short tracks in the area too. So it's a really interesting area to live. I can guarantee you that.
Well, I can tell you one thing that's not really interesting, and that is me talking about the weather right now. Tristan Bailey has pulled away from Jordan Fisher by about a half a second, and we like to do what I call the eyeball test. And we should be seeing that test. There it is. There's the eyeball test. That's what a half second looks like. Now, Joe, a half second in your passenger car, really not that significant. Here on the racetrack, that half second could be one eternity later.
It sure can. I've been in some races myself where it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because if you're in P1 and I see somebody that's half a second behind, I'm like, man, it's gonna take one mistake for him to be right up on my tail. But if you're in second running behind P1 and you're second, half a second behind, it just feels like it's gonna take you forever to catch him.
I want to thank everybody for joining us here in the YouTube.com live chat, where Jordan Fisher's has a fan club going on now. Evan Stewart, the same guy who roots on Jordan Fisher. So move up, Evan, get with Jordan. Evan Stewart, you're shouting him out. Way to go, Jordan. Fear the Fish. Fear the Fish.
Yeah, that might be Mom watching. So hi, Mom.
Oh, that's your mom?
No, it might be Fisher's mom.
Oh, Fisher. Hi, Fisher's mom. Fear the Fish.
You see, the username was FishMom39, so that's got to be his mom.
All right. And then, here as we watch this battle, Tristan Bailey has backed up to the 39 car, and now Christopher Howell's trying to make it a 3-horse race. There's a lot of space. We're going to get some of these other cars on the screen time, if you will. I don't like to do equal opportunity. 74 car Pete Walsh, our neighbor from the north, he's battling Ryan McCall, and this is a battle for that 13th position right now. Meanwhile, these guys are both battling Jonathan Dominics and a Keystone Motorsports group. So this is probably the best action that's going on right now. Looks like a 4-car tandem right behind Aaron Miller.
Yeah, and you can see these guys as they were, midway through the corner, they kind of staggered each other, and that's more than likely to get in some cleaner air because, with these next-gen cars, you run right up behind somebody or you're running the same line with them, trying to get that car to turn. You turn left, but you go right, so it can be a little bit difficult. So it's a good strategy I'm seeing by some of these drivers, so kudos to them.
As we see the lights come on around the speedway here, that should clear up a little bit of this fog. Now, remember DW with his Vortex steering? That actually does make a whole lot of sense. We were watching Adam Boughton here and that number 94 car, that Boughton Enterprises number 94. When they first signed on here with Sim Race Media, he was running that number 94 Chevrolet with Revolution Motorsports. And then he went to Toyota and, Fish Mom, yes, she is the mom. Fish Mom, you are now queen of the show. So, all hail Mom as being queen of the show.
Yeah, she'll be the first person he calls if he gets a win tonight, so.
So it's kind of like having Rick Hendrick watching the racing.
No pressure. No pressure.
Well, these days it's Jeff Gordon, but still. I mean, think about it. Like, if you're Kyle Larson, right, and you go to the Chili Bowl and you're running the Chili Bowl, and next thing you know, you got Jeff Gordon watching the Chili Bowl, watching you run.
Yeah, that's definitely going to add a level of pressure that you can't really run away from.
I tell you what, I will say this right now. I watched Kyle Larson in 2021 go to the Prairie Dirt Classic in a late model. Never been to Fairbury. Limited starts in a dirt super late model. On lap 32, he takes the lead from Bobby Pierce and goes on to win the PDC. Then he goes out 2 weeks later, hops in a 410 sprint car, wins the Kings Royal, and then he goes on to win the Cup Championship. If that's not talent, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that is just unmatched. You know, he's one of the you know, he's established what's known as the Larson line, right? So he can run that high line like nobody's business. So he's just one extraordinary race car driver.
Exactly. As we are watching here, Tristan Bailey, Gary Nash going into the pits as he's going to take his pit stop. That's unscheduled. He's going to fall a lap down. He bounced around somewhere around 6th position. That's Evan Marlowe in that Little Debbie's number 21. I like that as a Chevrolet. That's kind of like, what if the Wood brothers split from Ford and Chevrolet, or split from Ford and Chevrolet, started their own Chevrolet?
Yeah, you never really it's kind of unique how every car's body is shaped differently, right? And you know, as you look at the hoods of some of these cars, you know, the Fords and the Toyotas, and you know the way that the hood scoops are shaped, and when you put that wrap on the Chevrolet, and kind of, I mean, look, you know, I love Chevrolets, don't get me wrong, but you know the way that they have the hood scoop shaped out, it kind of puts a little bit of a damper on what you want to put up there.
Yeah, it does. Meanwhile, just behind Evan Marlowe is that 18 car, Michael Carter, who's in the Discount Tire. Now, I've never been to Discount Tire, but we have a couple of stores here. Anyways, I love that pace game. And right now, Evan Marlowe is not loving having that 18 car in his mirrors. Jonathan Dominics, he's going to come down pit road for his first pit stop of the night. So we're seeing about that 45, 46 lap-ish area where drivers are starting to come down and starting to think about.
Big
Whoa!
Marlowe into the wall. And he is down on the bottom of the track. No caution yet. There probably won't be one, but he hit the wall hard.
Well, funny you should say that. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Evan Marlowe here in the 21 car. And there it is. Oh. '18 car gets into him.
Yeah, that's gonna put a damper on the night for Evan.
Yo, and here's the thing: at a place like Iowa, it's so hard to unbury yourself if you get caught up in a kerfluffle. Yes, I said a kerfluffle. 48 laps complete. 48 laps complete in the history books. Coming to go lap number 50, halfway to the first century mark. And here's your leader, Tristan Bailey, in that number 9 car, engine number 9. Working lap number 50, and right now, John Osborne trying to run down that second place car of Jordan Pitcher.
Yeah, John Osborne, he's another one of those racers that, you know, he'll stick his name, you know, he'll stick his name up there, and give these guys a run for their money as well.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever So a little background about John Osborne. And whenever ECR first signed on with SRM Media, John Osborne was one of those guys that would buy his time around the mid pack, and then when it came time to go, he was coming. And then at the end of the race, you'd be like, where did he come from?
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's a lot of these tracks. It's just about consistency, right? You don't have to always push your car, because you get in situations where you have these guys that are just running consistent laps, lap after lap, and then with the tire fall off from the guys that are pushing their cars, the guy who's running more consistent, he's going to be right up there.
Yeah, definitely. As we were working lap number 52, Jordan Fisher still hanging tight there in second position. Dwayne Burdick there in that number 51 car. Unsponsored this week. Christopher Howell's going to come in and make his pit stop. Lap number 54. And, I feel like that this track, I like it when it's hot and slick at this racetrack, because then you can really move that car or truck around, and you got to search that grip out.
Yeah, it goes back to the saying that loose is fast, right? So you can kind of get that, you get those front tires gripped up, and kind of move the rear end around just a little bit more to get you some extra drive off, and it really makes for a fun drive.
Right now, one driver not having a fun drive, and that's Gary Nash, who's mired all the way back here in the 23rd position. We're lap number 56 right now, and there's Christian Bailey. So far, through 55 laps, no cautions yet. As I knock on wood, I tell you what, this reminds me of a Bristol race that me and myself and Jonathan Leach called. Was 300 laps of Bristol, and John's just taking the works, right? And I tell him, it's going to be done in like 90 minutes. 90 minutes from start to finish, right? And there was actually 300 laps of clean green flag racing. And he's just calling out battles that weren't even battles.
That's man, 300 laps of green flag racing at Bristol is damn near impossible.
It's almost unheard of.
Yeah, try doing that in an official race and see how that works out for you.
Yeah, no. Been there, done it. Bought the T-shirt. I did an official race at Bristol one time. It's 500 laps. I somehow finished second, 4 laps down.
Wow. So yeah, that's.
I was proud of myself.
Hey, listen, nothing wrong with that.
I mean, look, I was in second due to attrition.
Yeah, Tristan, he's got almost a second and a half lead on the field, and if it stays green throughout these pit cycles, it's going to be real difficult. Somebody's going to have to try and beat him off a strategy if we don't have any cautions here.
It definitely is. Here we are, and guess what? The clouds have opened up. Oh, that's the 16 car. And up ahead of him is the 31 car of Brian King. It's the Battle of the Kings. There can only be one king. And right now, Brian King is looking at Legion Racing. And then Aaron Miller, he's on pit road.
Yeah, it looks like the fog is almost completely gone away. And under these lights, these cars are just glistening, which is really going to give us a bird's eye view of all the action that we are about to witness.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get ready to commence in some more green flag pit stops, we are going to go ahead and take a look at some of these fastest 5 laps that That's a tie for 5 lap averages right now. Oop, and we have an incident on the racetrack there. It looks like Brian King. Ooh, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's see what happened to Brian here. He's coming on pit road and he
Locked up the brakes.
They
overshot pit road.
I would have almost hit the abort button at that point.
Yep. Cut your losses and try and minimize them as much as you can.
It's the magic number 31 car coming down pit road. He knows he's buried now. And look at these five best laps right now. Jordan Fisher actually has the best lap with a 22.49, and he is right around that 10th. Well, he's on pit road. There he is. Getting his pit stop done.
Yeah, he almost slid through his box, which with how close he needs to stay to Tristan Bailey, that you definitely don't want to happen. As Bailey goes into the wall right there, coming off of 4.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey just on cruise control right now. He's got to be thinking about it at some point to bring it down pit road.
Yeah, you have a whole lot of leeway when you're so far out in front. You're managing your tires well. It gives you all the power and all the control to control the race, really. So, if I remember correctly, Tristan Bailey, he is one of those drivers that pushes to the end of his fuel window every race, and it's been working for him. So, curious to see how he's going to strategize this race.
And that's the thing about Iowa is you really got to manage your tires. You don't want to burn off yourself. As right now we are 70 laps in to a 200 lap race, making 71 laps. That's the lap we're working on, 71. The corner Shucker 200 here from Iowa. And here comes John Osborne back here in a distant second. Kane Lee on pit road in that Allegiant Incorporated Racing. Say that 5 times fast. I can't even say it 1 time slow.
See that 16 car coming down pit road. Douglas King. Yeah, these guys are, we only have about 18 cars on the lead lap. So these cars they're going to be hoping for a miracle.
Or a couple cautions. Like, I know I start doing math whenever I'm like, okay, I need at least, if I see a caution come out, I'm down lap. I figure I need at least 2 cautions. There's only one driver.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's only one driver right now that hopes not to see the yellow flag, and that's the 9 car.
Yeah, he is definitely going to want this race to go green. If I'm in his position, we're still early on in the race, but later on in the race, if I'm in the front, I'm just every corner, I'm just thinking, no cautions, no cautions, no cautions.
And there's Tristan Bailey there. He's out to 2.75 second lead over Sean Osborne. Not really an eyeball test there. Adam Boughton here and that number 94 car.
Yeah, it would only be an eyeball test if you had blue eyes. And if you don't get the reference, it's because you have two eyes that are looking in opposite directions, and one eye blew that way and one eye blew that way. So you can't look in two directions at once.
I mean, at least I didn't get a one-nighter right in the mail. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we got a new player up here in that second position. Even though Dwayne Furtick's a country mile back behind Christian Bailey. Here, lap number 77. We're gonna go ahead, Joe. We're gonna go ahead, step aside, take a break, pay some bills here at Sim Racing Media. We're gonna go side by side, so you understand right back.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Welcome back to Iowa. We are live here for the Corn Shucker 200. Alan Bergen, along with my brother from another mother, Joe Manella, and Tyler Burton had crashed her lap number 80. Let's go back and see what happened there. As it looks like, oh, Kate Lee just gets into him, nowhere to go.
That's just tight racing, and that number 90 car getting a little bit tight, and just getting into the rear quarter of Tyler Burton.
Tyler Burton, top break for that number 06 car. Jordan Fisher back on pit road. Hope he doesn't have an issue.
The bright side, though, for Tyler is it doesn't look like much damage, right? So he got a little bit of contact and got sideways and then went right down on the grass. So he shouldn't have much damage to fix. So he should still be in good shape.
Definitely. And I hope everybody out there in the YouTube.com live chat is enjoying the live stream here tonight as the fog and clouds finally lifted. It's Jordan Fisher, Miss Fish Mom. I hope you're enjoying the stream. And Jordan Fisher back there in that 15th position. She's rooting him up to the front of the field. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, the lights are out on the speedway and on the iRacing.com pace car. As we come back, the iRacing.com pace car makes that hard left turn, and we are back to green flag racing here, the ECR NextGen Cup Series.
Yeah, I would have liked to see John Osborne just a little bit closer up to the front bumper of Tristan Bailey right there, because that's gonna give Tristan even more of a jump than he was already going to get. But
yeah, John Osborne just quietly doing his thing. As he's got Ryan McCall to his outside in that number 90 car. Remember earlier when I said we were single filed out?
I do.
Yeah, they're not single filed out now.
They are not. It almost looked like McCall was going to make it work on the high side, but his tires must have got just a little bit too hot too quick, and he wasn't able to make it work that much anymore.
And definitely, as Tristan Bailey pulled out to a half-second lead, 0.60 seconds. That's what separates John Osborne from the leader, Tristan Bailey. And there's the eyeball test. Ryan McCall is right on Osborne's back bumper, if you will. Checking in from the World of Outlaws sprint cars at the I-55 Federated Auto Parts Raceway. Haley Gross has won her heat race. The one and only heat race, 18 cars. They had an 18 car race. Well, they had 2 cars, 2 heat races. So shout out to Haley Gross for winning that one. Heat number 2 when she starts with Kobe. And I believe they're getting ready to start World of Outlaw action with the B mains.
Yeah, a win is a win, right? It's gonna lock you in and get you a good starting position for that feature.
Correct. Landon Crawley won the Micro Light Last Chance Showdown. So they're getting ready to go feature racing with the World of Outlaw sprint cars.
Got a few hard chargers out there right now tonight. As we look at the number 8 car of Kent Muller, he's up 15 spots. The current hard charger overall of the night right now is Anthony Ludi in the number 95 Toyota. He is up 16 spots. So great job by those two, kind of moving their way up to the field and getting inside of that top 10. As we also have Ryan McCall, as we were just watching before, he's up 12 spots, starting 15th. He's now sitting in P3.
And definitely, as we're looking at those biggest movers, Chris Evans up 10 spots. He's sitting 13th right now, and Doug D. Nice, he's up 7 spots, started in that 6th position. Taking a look at that the pit stop stats.
Anthony Ludi in the Robin Hood Toyota, a little bit of a Corey Heim game. I got to say, I'm a little bit of a Corey Heim fanboy myself, so I'm really digging that.
I can get behind that. There's our pit stop stats. There they are. That's the graphic I wanted. So that last stop, Everybody took 4 tires. The team get down to Gary Nash and Randy Meeks. Both of those drivers took 2 tires. And everybody just about put 15 laps or so on their
Yeah, you can almost expect that until we get late in the race, everybody is going to be taking 4 tires, and you know, if we get to a point where, you know, you've only got about, you know, 20 or so laps on your tires and a caution comes out and everybody starts going down pit road, that would probably be the best time to only take 2 and get you some, you know, get you some positions gained off of pit road, and it won't affect your handling that well. But
and it looks like Jordan Fisher put it on the hauler for the night, as he has appeared to have his Funyun effect out.
yeah, Osborne running pretty good behind him though. It's almost like you know, he just needed a little bit of an opportunity for that gap to close and for the field to tighten up for him to be able to put the pressure on him.
Well, if you're wanting that race, that battle for the race lead, here it is. John Osborne in the 11 car, Tristan Bailey in the engine number 9, as they work down the back straightaway. Now, Tristan Bailey trying to get away from John Osborne like he owes him lunch money.
Yeah, John Osborne, he's knocking on that door. He's you know, hopefully he can maintain this pace and keep putting some of that pressure on him and not push his car too much and force a mistake, as we see Osborne getting to the inside of Tristan Bailey right here as they come out of turn number 4. A little bit of door action, but just not going to be enough to get by him. He's going to have to reset and get excuse me, give it another go.
101 laps here. Fixing to be 100 to go. As Tristan Bailey, John Osborne continue to battle it out for the lead. As well, we have 14 cars left on the lead lap.
Yeah, these two of Osborne and Bailey, they are they are in BFE, just like the way this track is planted in Iowa. So they are out in no man's land.
You know, I have a funny story to tell you while we're watching this battle. So, you know, as you know, in 2024, I went out there to the Knoxville Nationals and for the late model side of it, and John Osborne's got 99 problems, and Tristan Bailey is one of them. Third place isn't. So, anyways, so I had to drive. So I wanted some IHOP, right? IHOP pancakes. And I had to drive 40 minutes to Des Moines, Iowa. And on the way out to Des Moines, I seen one hotel plopped in the middle of a cornfield. Talk about shucking some corn. It's like, look, it's like you can't leave the hotel without going to get an ear of corn.
Yeah.
But look at this battle right now. Tristan Bailey not letting up on John Osborne. John Osborne definitely riding the wall, doing it Ross Chastain style.
Yeah, Osborne looks like he's got Tristan in 1 and 2, but coming out of turn 4, Tristan is just carrying way too much speed for John to be able to just go ahead and clear him completely.
Yeah, definitely John Osborne right there. That's 0.2 seconds now. In the passenger car, and look, at 0.2 seconds in your everyday car, I don't know about you, mine's got the little 3 dots. They're just beep, 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 flashing at you. And I feel like that would be sending my car into a berserk situation.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't have the auto braking feature.
It does. Where it locks up the brakes if you think you're going to be in an accident. Meanwhile,
Osborne he's been the only driver so far tonight to give Fisher a run for his money. So we are absolutely going to stay locked in on this battle and see what happens and see how it plays out. Because I mean, Fisher he's running really good, and so is Osborne, and it's just going to take one eensy weensy teeny mistake, and Osborne's going to just rock it right in front of Tristan right there.
kind of like this right here, to Goodyear. And it looks like Bailey's just going to outmotor that 11 car ever so slightly.
Yeah, the way he tracks out to the wall coming out of 4, he's just carrying so much speed coming out. It's amazing the way he's able to control this car and get the drive off that he's getting.
See, I'm looking at this battle right now, and I feel like John Osborne gets a way better 1 and 2, and Tristan Bailey gets a way better 3 and 4.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you there. As we saw a few times as Osborne tried to push for that pass, he was side by side, even getting the nose out in front of Tristan's car, and then side by side down the backstretch. But coming out of turn 4, Tristan, he's just got the drive off. He's got it locked in.
Yeah, he's just pulling away from Osborne off of 3 and 4. Now, if you watch Osborne, he's eventually catching the 9 car. He's getting a better drive off to turn 2. Here they come down to 3 and 4. And actually, let's do this. Let's go. There we go. You can see just what we're talking about here.
Yeah, you see, he gets a really massive run on that inside coming out of turn number 2.
Tristan Bailey trying to figure out what he's got to do to get by that 9 car. Better angle for you. And oh, he's got a run there.
Can he do it? Can he do it? No. See, there he goes. Tristan just, man, he's just got it. He's got the exit of 4 just nailed. Absolutely nailed. As you see, Osborne kind of doing almost a late apex there and really getting a massive run coming out of turn number 2, but it's just it's gonna take just a little bit more than that. He's got to get 4 down to get past Tristan. Tristan.
Here he goes. If Osborne's going to make this pass, he's going to make this pass not on the turn 3 and 4 complex. It's going to be in that 1 or 2 or the entry of the corner. Tristan Bailey just so good off turn number 3 and 4. Here comes John Osborne. He's going to put it to the high side. I don't know. I would have done that one.
Osborne did look like he had a little bit of a better exit off of 4, so it might maybe a few laps or so he might make another run at it. But as it stands right now, Tristan Bailey, he's got his number. So it's gonna take Osborne up there and kissing the wall just a little bit, slow him up, but. Few more laps. I'd say maybe about another 10 laps or so. If it's going to happen, that's when it'll happen.
Well, right now, Tristan Bailey's going to have a decision he's got to make as he's approaching the 88 car and the 00 car of Chris Evans. I want to thank everybody for joining us here in the YouTube.com live chat. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have 2 great races going on. As Joe, I know you're excited to make your Charity Cup Series debut with that series over there. And then tomorrow night at 8:10 Eastern is the Icon Cup Series as we head to Bristol, Tennessee, the last great Coliseum. I am looking forward to that one.
Yeah, both of these races are going to be exciting, right? Anytime you get a chance to do a charity race, it gives you an opportunity to give back and put on a show for a good cause. So we're looking forward to it.
Lap 119, 118 laps in the history book. Checking out some of those other battles on the racetrack here. As much as I love that Tristan Bailey and John Osborne battle, there's some other drivers in the field observing some airtime. Randy Meeks being one of them. And a number 20 car at Southern Alliance Racing.
Love me some Cheetos, man.
I mean, who doesn't? Anthony Ludi there in that number 95 car at a Revolution Motorsports. According to Robin Hood, a Corey Heim inspired team.
A little bit of a good battle going on behind them. Michael Carter and Aaron Miller, they were trading spots there for about a lap or two.
We're not missing anything up here in the front. It's Tristan
Well,
Bailey. And my partner lost his train of thought.
I did. I was looking at, so they were battling, but he was battling with the lap car of Brian King, and I had a brain fart. So
it's okay.
going back to how we're miscalculators. Oh, Osborne kissing the wall just a little bit harder than he would have.
Sometimes that'll actually make it just a little bit faster.
You know, it's surprising. There'll be some times where I'll get up into the wall, and afterwards it feels like my car's driving better. So we'll see if that works to Osborne's advantage.
76 laps to go here. Tristan Bailey still in command of the lead by 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds is not really significant on the racetrack. As let's take a look at the 94 car of Adam Boughton. He was going to be under fire from the 40 car of Doug D. Nice. Safe light repair, safe light replace. Safe light get around Adam Boughton.
Safe light repair, safe light replace. I can tell you this much: that is one slogan that lives rent free in my head.
Well, right here in the middle of this pack, there's more action than a Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Yeah, between Boughton, Denise, and Furtick, they want that position.
I'm just saying, go to 1 to 3 a.m. There's a whole lot of action going on right now.
Oh yeah.
We got
yeah.
a car going in the pits. That's going to be Gary Nash in an 88 car. And I don't know if this is got the pit stop or if he's about to peg out his fun meter. Meanwhile, back
It
at
is. There's never a dull moment at 3 a.m. in a Waffle House, so.
Tristan Bailey, though, he's going to have another decision to make as he has effectively caught that 16 car of Douglas King. We're working lap 130, 129 laps in the history books. There he is, Adam Boughton. There in the number 94 car. He's under fire from his teammate Doug D. Nice in that 40 car. Dwayne Furtick. We're going to stay locked on this battle just to see how it shapes out.
Yeah, it almost looked like before the 51 car almost put it on the 40's bumper. But you always say that teammates are teammates until the final lap. So, but keeping it clean so far, which is good.
Definitely is Dwayne Furtick giving Doug D. Nice the business, being good year to good year, and maybe Dwayne Furtick's thinking about that 2-for-1 special. Not gonna happen just yet. So here's an interesting stat for you. Right now, we've been racing for 55 minutes. And we're already ahead of link clock and already at 133 laps.
Yeah, that's just the result of green flag racing. So you gotta give credit where credit's due, right? These guys have they've really worked on their craft and they're able to have some fun racing and let your driving abilities really affect the outcome of this race, not necessarily so much the cautions.
That's why I'm in the booth and not out there. Well, let's put it this way. These guys pride themselves on safety. Now, if you take a look at their I rating, my I rating is only. Look, in my defense, I focus on dirt. I'm a dirt guy. But my I rating on pavement is like I'm in the triple digits. But it scares a lot of people.
It's really not that bad. I rating. There's so many misconceptions and interpretations about I rating and if you're a better driver or not. But I've been in some league races with guys that are 1,000 or 1,500 I rating lower than I am, and they're giving me the business. So just goes to show that I rating doesn't necessarily determine how good of a driver you are. I don't know what these guys' I rating is and if there's a cap or whatnot, but what it comes down to is if you could drive, you could drive. A lot of these guys will just focus on league racing because it can get really frustrating in some of these official races, and you get into a situation where you're having a clean race and somebody else isn't, and then you lose 100 I rating over it. So these league races really give these guys an opportunity to work on their craft, be more efficient, learn some more racecraft, and hopefully if they do go back into officials, it helps them significantly.
We got trouble right now. Pete Walsh having an issue in a lone wolf racing entry to number 74 car. Let's see what happens now. He kicks off the road. And we're not supposed to do that.
Nope, those there's a wall there.
You can't park there.
Nope. It's coming off a pit road with these brand new sticker tires that you put a little bit too much wheel in it, a little bit too much gas in it, and around and round you go.
I mean, I figured ice skating would be easier than getting back on the racetrack with those tires. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ryan McCall, 2.5 seconds behind their leader, Tristan Bailey. We're going to go ahead and step aside. We got, 59. Well, we're not doing that. Anyway, we're alive before we want to go ahead and step aside, take another break. We'll be right back here on Cinematic Video.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Iowa Speedway as we are here for the Corn Shucker 200 lap 150, just 51 laps left to go here. It's been all Tristan Bailey all the time as he has started on the pole and he's still in the lead. John Osborne coming down for his pit stop.
Yeah, and as we were away for commercial break, he actually got overtaken by Ryan McCall in a number 90 car. So I wonder if the tires on John. He just had to get a new set of tires on there.
Yeah, definitely is. Here we are working 51 under 50. John Osborne, AC Ludi, Ryan Meeks, Christopher Roth are all on pit road right now. And it looks like Christopher Roth had a black flag. And that gone wrong racing. Yeah.
Wonder if he caught a speeding penalty.
Might have.
Yeah, it's about that time where everybody except for Tristan Bailey comes in for their final pit stop.
Yeah, exactly. And just if you're wondering, Tristan Bailey, his lap since the last pit is 72 laps. And he took 4 tires.
Yeah, I give it about another 5 or 6 laps, maybe even 7, because he likes to push it to the end of that window. And with a fuel window of 70 to 80 laps, he's going to want as fresh tires as he can for these last 40 laps, 45 laps of this race.
Most definitely there. Taking a look at our pairs. Tyler Burden is currently being scored 19. Christopher Roth, 32nd. Tyler Barrett is scored 22nd. We take a look at the Eon Motorsports. Tristan Bailey, Ryan McCall, Tyler Burden, Evan Barlow, all teammates there. Revolution Motorsports contingent consists of Adam Bowden, Doug United, Kip Miller, Aaron Miller, Michael Carter, Anthony Brewer. And then you have the Dominic, Powell, and Evans. Driver, Wayne Purdy, John Osborne, Kane Lee, and Brian King, all in the Allegiant Inc.
Question of the night is, when the heck is Tristan going to come in for his pit stop?
At this point, who knows? I mean, especially just clicking laps off. Let's go ahead and see.
Well, question answered. There it is. Coming down pit road right now.
That's going to turn the race over to Ryan McCall. And a number 90 car. There's his nice, how his nice been.
Well, he'll get at least 1 or 2 laps led tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going to come down pit road too.
Oh, and he got sideways going in. Oh, no. never a good thing when you come in pit road sideways and just misjudge that entry. It's always more difficult on the short tracks than it is the intermediates or the super speedway. So I can't really knock them too much for that.
Yeah, look, at an intermediate or a super speedway, I feel you got time to recover. Out of Boughton's going to come in too.
Yeah, it's a difficult entry right there. The way that the way that the ground is painted right there, I can definitely see how it can shake you up a little bit and get you confused as to where the actual pit road entrance is.
Kit Mueller with the race lead. And here he comes.
That's going to put Dwayne Furtick back out as a new race leader.
Dwayne Furtick going to take the lead this time by. John Osborne, Tristan Bailey. There are the stories of the night.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling when you pit as the leader and you come back out and you're in third and you're not a lap down. As you can see, Tristan with those fresh tires as he just absolutely flies by John Osborne, and his next victim of the night is going to be Dwayne Furtick.
Yeah, Dwayne Furtick is going to have that lead short-lived. Lap 167 of 200. 166 laps in the history books.
Just about 32 laps to go here. Tristan Bailey back up to the lead, getting past Dwayne Furtick. And then John Osborne, he's going to be in the number 3 spot right now, rounding out the podium as we kind of see Dwayne obviously doesn't want to give that lead up easily, but the way Tristan's been running all night, it's going to be near impossible to catch him. So,
Well, taking another look at the weather here, that track temperature has climbed up a few degrees, and air temperature is still 64. Track temperature now is at 73. It was at 64 on the track at green flag. The humidity is still 95%, and it's still overcast. Now, if you live in the Midwest, you know that 95% relative humidity in summer is a thing. You're just having a bad air.
yeah, and you're having a hard time breathing too.
Yes. That slaps you right in the face. Now, you live in Phoenix, it's a dry heat.
Yep.
Or if you live where Mike DeMonte lives, it's a dry heat. Taking a look at that race recap, 172 laps up 200. One caution for 4 laps, 7 lead changes. Current leader is Christian Bailey. We have 29 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a round of applause. Give these drivers a round of applause. Show them your appreciation as when they come to the stripe on the last lap. We got 28 laps to go right now.
Yeah, definitely a big thanks to all our viewers. We've had quite a few viewers that have been sticking it out the whole night. Fish Mom, I'm sorry that Jordan's not going to get it done tonight, but you know, he's still going to be in a good spot, and there's always next week. So you know, just want to give you know, give thanks to everybody that's joining us here on Sim Racing Media on YouTube.
So definitely, as we checking in on the line over here, and we'll bring up those results for you right quick. Shouldn't say bring up results. I'll tell you what happened. Unless you wanted to become serious, I would listen. As the World of Outlaws Super Late Model feature, Bobby Pierce takes the Illini 100 with Nick Boughton finishing second. Brandon Shepard beats up, rounding out your podium on that one. UMP Dirt Car Modifieds are doing their last chance showdown with Owen Sankey out of Highland, Illinois, finishing first and not locking himself in. And with the sprint cars at the I-55 February Development race right here. Seems like they're race for 23 laps to go here from the Iowa Speedway.
And as if we didn't go from the shortest, one of the shortest of the shorts to the longest of the long, as we are at Talladega next week for the Cannonball Run 212 for 80 laps. So we go from one extreme in short track racing to another extreme in super speedway racing. So you know, as unpredictable as any race is, a super speedway is probably one of the most unpredictable there is.
That's going to be a fun one. 21 laps to go. Tristan Bailey, the man of the hour. We have 10 cars up on the lead lap. Christopher Howell under fire from Aaron Miller. Might be the best battle all night.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to get past this lap car that's in front of him. Kane Lee. And it's what makes it a little bit more difficult for these guys that are on the lead lap is these guys that are still a lap down, they're fighting for position. So for them to just, you know, yield you the position on the track, it's difficult for them because they slow down for you. They're going to be in, you know, for lack of a better term, up Schitt's Creek and, you know, lose the position to the guy they're battling for.
Definitely is checking in over at the with 18 months ago on the MLB side of things. The Boston Red Sox take the Saturday game for the St. Louis Cardinals. And right now the Phillies top the Arizona Diamondbacks by 1 run today. Go Phillies. 17 laps to go, and it's all Tristan Bailey all day long now. Dwayne Furtick trying to make a race out of it, trying to catch that number 9 car. And look, Joe, I spent it 10 ways from Sunday. Tristan Bailey is so good on these long runs.
Yeah, the way he's able to manage these tires, you know, I've been racing. I haven't been racing that long. I've been broadcasting even less than that. But, you know, in my short time here racing and broadcasting, the way he's able to do that, something like it's something I've not really seen at all.
So just 15 laps to go here, and the Torrent Shucker 200 is going to go far at the race road, and now would be Bailey, Furtick, and Osborne on the podium. Adam Boughton just one spot shy of that right now with 14 to go. There's Adam Boughton. There's John Osborne. I mean, they're really strung out.
Yeah, they are strung out, and almost everyone battling with some lap traffic. So it makes it even more difficult. You know, it'll be even difficult in clean air, but you know, when you're battling and trying to navigate through some lap traffic, it just gives Tristan all more of the gap that he wants and needs to come away with this finish, as we're getting ready to come out to 12 to go.
1 dozen laps left to go in this one. Christian Bailey doing what Christian Bailey's been doing all day. Just buying his time, being there at the end. Aaron Miller a lap down. Kent Miller is the next car to go a lap down. William Furtick starting to come into view just a little bit. And Christian Bailey works through the lap traffic. He's got 2 cars ahead of him. And he's going to have some decisions to make once he gets there.
Looks like that gap is slowly closing as Tristan navigates through this lap traffic. Furtick down to just over 2 seconds.
Tristan Bailey, 10 laps to go, has to figure out how to keep that 51 car at bay. Now you got John Osborne back there who's about 5 seconds. 2 seconds is a whole lot on the racetrack. Not that much on the car. I don't know. I mean, oh, trouble. We got yellow. Chris Evans.
Wow, talking about throwing a wrench right into the middle of it.
Let's see what happened here.
I wasn't going to give the the announcer's curse, but as he just gets loose coming off the corner on the straightaway and jumps back on the track just enough for the caution to come out.
We have a whole new race.
We do. It's a brand new race. Oh man. We'll be restarting with probably about 4 to go. I can almost assume everybody's going to come down for tires.
I think you're right. And here comes the brigade. A lot of takers. Johnson Dominic's not coming in.
Yeah, a few of them just going to go ahead and try and catch that wave around. Maybe if they can get back on the lead lap in time to get some tires, they might be able to make a run at it, but we shall see.
Well, let's
It's going to be Bailey.
This. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and have a chat with Tristan Bailey right now. Tristan, it's Joe and Alan up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, look, man, you have driven a phenomenal race up until this point. What's going to be the strategy once we go green? Is this going to be all gas and no brakes, or is this, you know, what's going to be that strategy?
We'll just see, man. I don't know. This can be kind of, look, it's gonna be really, really dicey, no give.
Yeah, Tristan sounds like he is really locked in and ready to give these last 4 laps and the rest of the drivers will run for their money as he's dominated. So Tristan, we will let you go and kind of get squared away and get ready for the restart. We wish you the best of luck on the finish.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you heard it there. No real strategy. Four to go.
You know, with the way he's been running this entire race, I think the only thing he's really needs to do is just keep doing what he's doing. He's really in a position where it's not something you want to overthink too much, because you know, from my perspective is the pressure is going to be on everybody else to kind of get in front of him. Obviously, you know, you have immense pressure as the leader coming to this restart with 3 to go, but he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's going to be starting on the outside, which would give him a little bit more speed going down into turn number 1. So, you know, pressure's on for everybody else, not so much for Tristan.
Correct. As the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car and on the speedway. A natural green-white checker. The iRacing.com pace car peels off on the pit road hopefully one final time. It's going to be to Tristan Bailey to win verdict through the Echo Park restart zone. And we are back to green flag racing here at the ECR Cup Series. 4 laps to go.
Alan, cautions bring caution, so we shall see how this last 4 laps play out. But Tristan Bailey, he's rocking it out, almost a half a second off the restart here. So, like I was saying, the pressure's going to be on everybody else, not so much him.
Here comes Adam Boughton and Dwayne Furtick battling it out for the second position. John Osborne, he might take liquor. 3 laps remaining here. 3 miles left for Tristan Bailey. Six this time by for Tristan Bailey. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and Osborne, he lost a spot on pit road there, so he's definitely going to be pushing a little bit harder to get that podium spot back.
Back straight away is Tristan Bailey. Adam Boughton sets the fastest lap of the race with a 22.141. Tristan Bailey off turn 4 as they wave the doctor's jacket. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Yeah, it is going to be all Tristan Bailey here, just like it was the entirety of this race. It was, man, this was an exciting one to call, as Tristan comes out of turn number 4 and he gets ready to take the checkered flag, and he is going to be your race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Tristan Bailey.
Adam Boughton finished second. Dwayne Furtick will round out your podium. John Osborne will finish 4th. The fireworks go off for Tristan Bailey, who picks up the Corn Shucker 200. You know, I was real worried about the restart there, Joe, whenever they go to take off. Because I'm like, I hope I didn't invoke the announcer curse. I was trying not to be Danhausen, and you are cursed.
Right? I know. It's the announcer's curse is bad enough, and you know, the fact that cautions bring cautions, it's, you know, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, we know what happens now. Tristan Bailey's going to burn it down.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey with his 4th win of the season. He is, as much as he was running away with this race, he is really going to start to run away with his points lead for this championship.
So we work on getting the drivers up here to the waiting room. Adam Boughton's already up here. See about getting our other drivers up here. Dwayne Furtick, we're waiting on him out of Allegiance. All right, and we'll kick this party off with Tristan Bailey. Joe, I believe you have Tristan Bailey down in Victory Lane.
Hey, Tristan Bailey, this is Front Row Joe and Alan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, man. So we were talking up here in the booth after our conversation about the strategy, and my comment was that the only thing you really needed to do was to continue to do what you've been doing all race. Um, how what was kind of your overall strategy for the race as we seen that you've pushed to the end of the fuel window, and what kind of an advantage do you think that might have played in you coming away with the win tonight?
I just seen how much the fall off was, new tires, old tires. So I was like, the best strategy really is to run it out and then pit. You have fresh tires. Everybody shorts pits. So that was my plan, and I got lucky that caution came out right before I entered pit road, or I'd have been screwed on that green flag stop. And almost didn't have enough gas. Thankfully, they let you come around one time and pit. So got lucky on that one.
Yeah, and we saw you and John Osborne were going back and forth for what felt like an eternity. But what kind of gave you that advantage there to be able to keep him in your rear view?
Just keeping the high lanes and keep the momentum going. I mean, you couldn't pass it. The car had good speed on the top, and that was the whole thought process tonight. Because I feel like if you was trying to pass my low, you had to have way better tires. So it's just the speed difference on the high lane compared to that bottom lane is so much difference between the two. Because I know once he caught me doing that, I started running what line he was running. I guess either he burn his stuff up or I don't know. So then I just kind of did the same thing he did, and I kind of pulled away from him, and I just kind of kept running that line until I know Ryan got the second there on that run, and I was happy for him. We were discussing strategy, and then he ended up spinning trying to get on pit road. And I was like, man, come on, man, that was your chance, bro. And then he ended up coming out ninth because of that caution, which I think he would have finished better if that caution didn't come out, but it is what it is. It's been a good race tonight. It was a great battle on Jordan there. The first, I don't know how many laps that was. I don't know what happened to him, but kudos to him. It was good running against him.
Yeah, it was definitely definitely a very exciting race to watch, and we here at Sim Racing Media we had a fun time calling it. We congratulate you on your victory. We definitely look forward to seeing you at Talladega next week. And before we let you go, we just want to give you the opportunity to give thanks to whoever you'd like to, and give someone a shout out.
Thanks to my wife watching, and my grandmother, my dad, my mother, and thanks to my teammates. Some of us practiced Friday and kind of threw in hints in there, and we got into practice today before the race, and we was like, you know what, that's probably not going to work what we was doing, so we kind of changed it up a little bit, and it worked for me pretty good. I know Tyler kind of got spun there, but other than that, thanks to the Aeons. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and of course, thanks Adam for hosting the league.
Well, all right, Mr. Tristan, we will let you go and suck up this victory, and we will see you next week at Talladega.
All right, man, y'all have a good one.
All right, up next onto the broadcast booth. Let's do this. The driver of the number 94 car, Adam Boughton. Adam, it's Alan and Joe up in the SRM booth. How's it going?
Pretty good after a pretty good run tonight.
Yeah, definitely. What a run there. And you came on late there at the end of the race. Take us through that, and where'd you find that extra speed at?
Well, I think it was just the last two pit stops I did. I took two tires, and that for me at least it really freed the car up, and at least on the short run I was just able to drive it a lot more aggressive there, and was able to get a good jump on especially on the end there. Got a good jump on the restart, and was able to clear Dwayne into turn one, and attempted to get to Tristan, but ultimately didn't have anything for him there. But hey, we'll take a P2 any day, especially when we were running running fourth, which it looked like we were going to get fourth there, but we may have been able to run down John. I mean, I was catching him, but I think I would have ran out of laps trying to get to him, or at least I may have caught him, but getting around him would have been another story. But ultimately, caution came out, took 2 tires in the last stop, lined up fourth, and just got a good restart and brought it home P2.
Yeah, next week we head to Talladega. What's your thoughts as we head to that big open speedway there?
Talladega's going to be a little interesting. We got something. We're going to run a little different package there next for next week's race, so it'll be a little bit different now. So should be overall a little bit better racing than we saw at Daytona. So, but hopefully it helps.
Well, look, man,
But it'll definitely be probably a bunch of white knuckle racing.
Good stuff. Before we get you out of here, Adam, who do you want to thank and who helped you get it done on that number 94 car?
Well, shout out to my RMS teammates. Until that, I think just about all of us there finished in the top 10. Miller got caught by the pit cycle, and I think he lost a lap. But overall, all the rest of us got a finish in the top 10 tonight. So solid performance by the RMS team. And then shout out to my sponsor, Boughton Enterprises, for being on the car this season. And shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast each and every week.
Awesome job. Once again, congratulations on that second place finish. And we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, Joe, we have Dwayne Furtick for you. Just a second. Now we have Dwayne Furtick.
Dwayne Furtick, this is Front Row Joe and Alan Bergen in the booth. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good, guys.
Hey, man. So coming away with the third place finish tonight. Looks like that late race caution threw a wrench into everything. What what popped into your mind the instant that caution flag came out?
2 tires. Unfortunately, I mean, any way to somewhat pull off the win, and you mean in this type car, you would have to pretty much wreck someone to get position, especially that late in the race. I mean, we're running Q laps at that point, and so yeah, I was content with running second at that point.
Yeah, anytime you can get some sort of competitive advantage, whether it's not taking enough fuel or just taking 2 tires, anytime you can get that advantage is always a good strategy. So give you a big kudos on that. And you got ahead of John Osborne on that pit cycle, which put you in the podium position. We're going to be going from short track racing to super speedway racing in Talladega next week, which should be interesting. So what goes through your mind when you hear that you're at Talladega next week?
Can I win the lottery?
Yeah, the super speedway is if short track isn't interesting, super speedway racing definitely is going to be interesting because the whole field is pretty much going to be running nose to tail the entire race. So it should be another exciting race. We congratulate you on your third place finish tonight. It was a hard fought battle. Obviously, you want to come away with a win, but you're going to be getting some good championship points, which is going to help you out in the championship standings. So, with that being said, we'd like to give you an opportunity to give somebody a shout out and thank whoever you'd like to thank tonight.
Thank my teammate John, incredible teammate. Air cars were pretty fast. Thank my amazing wife as well. And thank you guys for what you do in the booth.
Well, all right, Mr. Furtick. Dwayne Furtick, everybody, in that number 51 Chevrolet, coming away with a third place finish tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week at Talladega, and we will let you go and enjoy your podium finish tonight.
Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too.
All right. Well, that's going to about do it for the interview part of it. let's go ahead and take a look at those results here as we finish this one up here. As you heard from your top three, John Osborne brings it home fourth, Kent Mueller brings it home fifth, Doug D. Nice sixth, seventh goes to Christopher Howell, Anthony Ludy finishes eighth, Ryan McCall and Michael Carter round out your top 10. As you can see the rest of the field scroll at the bottom there. Anthony Ludy is your hard charger tonight. Most laps led with to Tristan Bailey with 184. Tristan Bailey also gets the fastest lap of the race. 2 cautions for 8 laps and 7 green flag lead changes. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts before we land the plane?
Well, Alan, Tristan Bailey, he just absolutely dominated tonight. 184 laps led. He's got the pole. He's got the fastest lap of the night. It just goes to show how much these drivers actually put into preparing for these races each and every week. And, with Tristan coming away with yet another win of the season, it shows how much he puts into it. Not to take away from Adam Boughton or Dwayne Furtick for their second and third place finishes, but overall these guys they put their hearts into it, and any time you can come away with a decent finish is a win in my books. So
absolutely good stuff here tonight. And on behalf of myself, Sim Racing Media, as we quote the late great Tony Trapasso and say, as you walk through the streets, alive please, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.